What's up? My mom's doing something real quick, and then in about 10 minutes, we'll start a live talk about summer wells. I got a timeline set up here. Should be pretty interesting. Did not think somebody was going to come on right as soon as I pressed the button, but that's cool. So, about 10 minutes, guys. 10 minutes. Let people get in here. I know Cammy's going live tonight, so that'll probably take some of my viewers away. But that's all good. We'll still have fun. Cammy, I believe, is talking to Johnny Gobble's ex-wife tonight in her video. What's up, Desiree? We're about to. My mom's be in here in about 9 minutes. We'll be talking about summer wells in about 9 minutes, guys. 9 minutes. I figured I'd let some people get in here. So how are you guys doing today? I got me a timeline. I figured I'd let some people get in here. So I don't miss anything. I'm sure I missed a lot of things. This case is like crazy. Like let me go wipe my nose off real quick. I'll be right back. All right, guys, come back. I'm back. Who's looking forward to the? I guess Cammy's gonna go live here in a little bit and talk about Johnny Gobble's ex-wife. So I don't care. So, what have you guys been up to? We got about 8 minutes before my mom comes in here. She's in there finishing up a few things before she comes in, and then we will start on this. Can you guys hear me? Does the screen look good today? Like it ain't blurry or anything? Like pixelated? I already asked Cammy to leave her live up after she's done so I can watch it tomorrow. So I definitely won't be missing that. Well, that's good. I'm glad to hear it. So you're going to be really busy, Desiree. You're going to be watching them both. About 7 minutes, guys. 7 minutes. And then we will be going into it. I think Cammy is... I don't think hers is at exactly 8 o'clock. I think she said hers is 9. So probably in an hour from now. Or is she already live? Like, I haven't checked. Like... Yeah, there's a lot of people that say Michael Jackson died like 10 years before he died. Like the person that was playing Michael Jackson at the end, like the guy that died the last time, was not the real Michael Jackson. Yeah. Seeing if I don't think Cammy's live yet. I think she goes live in like an hour. So. He was at his own funeral? I never heard anything like that, but I'll look into it. But I got like I don't know how good you can see it, but 2 pages of things I need to look into, and I haven't had the time, so I had to make some videos today because my channel took a flop that one day I took off. What's up, guys? We're going to be live or talking about summer wells in about 5 minutes. About 5 minutes. Yeah, we're going to do next Monday, me and my mom. I'm going to do one myself sometime this week. I don't know I might do it on the Jeepers Creepers one because, yeah, I'm going to look into that. And I'll probably do one on that before the end of the week. But next Monday, me and my mom are going to do another one. It'll be on Bob Saget and Brian Laundrie and Gabby Bertito. So we're going to do both of them next Monday. Well, DJ, you will know a lot about it by the end of this live if you stay here. But this story is a bit crazy. David. Yeah, I'll have to look into the Michael Jackson stuff a little more. There's a lot of people that say the one that passed away wasn't actually him. Yeah, my mom will be here in about 3 minutes, guys. We'll go into this story in about 3 minutes. I think, like, I was covering it way back when it first started. But I think Ryan Upchurch even covered Summer Wells' story once. Okay, I think he did a video on her. So, and I don't know if it's still up on his page, but it may be up on his page, and you might be able to go watch it on the video he made about it. Three more minutes. Yes, we're going to start from the beginning. You will hear the whole story up till today. That there was a possibility that there was 2 of them. You never knew that, Desiree? Yeah, I always, if you look back at the original, the first Michael Jackson, and look at the guy that was Michael Jackson at the end. Yeah, definitely probably 2 different people. It's just you're gonna be amazed with this story. It's a sad story because everybody thinks it's just about Summer Wells, but yep, Mama's here, so we're about to start, guys. But this story is actually about 3 kids. I was letting people get in before you came in here.
Oh.
So I went live about 10 minutes ago, but
I thought you'd yell at me.
Oh, you got still 1 more minute.
Yeah, well, I'm old. Hi, guys. I got achy, breaky bones today.
So, there's going to be some theories in this, guys, and some facts in this. So, for you people that have never heard this story, be ready because it's going to be
twist and turn.
Lots of twists and turns. So, she went missing on June 15th, 2021. So, about almost a year ago. Yeah,
I think it's been a little bit longer.
No, I wrote it all down. June 15th, 2021 is when it happened.
Okay.
So it's been a year.
Well, it's 22 now.
Yeah, so next month will be a year.
Okay.
Yeah, next month will be a year since this girl or boy went missing. We'll get into that in a minute. On the day that she went missing, her mother was going to
pick up her own
mom at the hospital, but they swung by and picked up the young boy, which I'm not going to say his name because he was 15 at the time, so he was a teenager. Is this the first time you ever heard about Summer Wells, Desiree? Yeah, it's going to get interesting. So that day when they went to pick up the mother, before they went to get the mother, they went to a swimming hole with
the young teenage boy,
the boy and the kid
and the
brothers and Summers. Mm-hmm. So we're talking about Summer Wells tonight, Billy. They went to this little river spot where a swimming hole, and this is where theories start happening because one theory is that the girl drowned and died.
I think she did.
Died at the river. And there's a picture, like you guys can go look up her case. There's a picture of this little girl leaning over in the car, and she doesn't look like she's alive in the picture. Why they took this picture, I have no idea.
And why you would put it on the internet?
Put this on the internet and everything. So if she was...
She absolutely looks dead in the photo. Absolutely.
You'll know by the end of this video, Billy, you'll know pretty much everything. We're still at the beginning. So they picked up the grandma and went and got...
Well, no, first what happened is the teenage boy, which we can't say his name, noticed that Summers had not come up out of the water. And he got scared. And so he dug around in the water for her. He actually put out a statement that said she was dead, that she had drowned, that he didn't get to her fast enough. And then they kind of like blocked it and made it to where the kids couldn't talk no more. So being a teenager, they shut him up about what had happened. But then they put a picture, like Danny said, on the internet of Summer in the back seat of the car with her head over like this. And it's really weird because she's in winter clothes in 90-degree weather, and she looks dead. She absolutely looks dead to me. So, okay.
How's it going, Roland? So they pick up the grandma and they go to a alcohol store, and this is where it gets even more strange because this young boy says that Candace buys him alcohol all the time. This kid's 15 at the time. Mm-hmm. This kid also had a profile picture on his Facebook where it showed that he was going out with Kansas. Mm-hmm. Like they were dating. Like this 15-year-old boy and Summer's mother were like dating. Yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. Actually, it's on my list of things to talk about. But I'm trying to explain everything for the people that have no clue what happened. So when they get home, and this is where the story is weird, because if the girl was actually dead in the picture, she was dead when they got home.
Yes.
Her mother's, I would say, in her 30s or 40s, DJ.
I would say she's in her 40s.
Yeah.
Because she has some teenage sons.
Yeah, so in her 40s, somewhere in her 40s. Yeah, I don't understand why there is no arrest in this case either, but this story just gets crazier. So we're back at the house. The boys have went in and are playing upstairs in the house.
Mm-hmm. And playing video games.
Summer is supposedly out in the yard with her grandma and her mother, messing with the flowers in the flower bed. Mm-hmm. But there's a picture, and you can find it. There's a picture of this flower bed with weeds in it. There's no flowers.
Never been touched.
Never been touched. No flowers. Nothing.
There's no messing of the dirt. You know, when you plant flowers, there's a big old mess and everything. Oh, everybody went. A lot of people went around the yard
You
and
gotta scoot
made
over a little,
sure
Mom. They can't see you. You're kind of
that
going off the side there.
they made sure that none of the flower beds in the yard had been disturbed, and none of them had been disturbed. So the mother saying, and the grandma saying that they had planted flowers that day was proven to be a straight up lie.
So, anyways, supposedly they're planting flowers, and Summers wants to go inside and play with the boys. She goes inside to play with the boys, and then decides that she doesn't want to play with the boys, and she goes downstairs.
She wanted the boys to go down into the basement with her and play with her toys.
Yeah, her room's downstairs with her mother and father's room, and she wanted them to go down and play there. So, we're talking like 4 minutes, maybe 5 at the most. This girl is down in the basement and supposedly disappears. We're talking 4, maybe 5 minutes.
Which means that whoever abducted her, because that's the new twist in it, instead of being dead at the river.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure she was 42.
The little girl made it home and made it down into the basement and made it outside somehow, so that, like Danny said, the timeline, thinking in my own mind, would probably be 3 to 4 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. Everybody's saying
from the complete upstairs to the basement.
And the mother says she was only out there for 5 minutes. So that means all this had to happen in 5 minutes.
So how did that little girl, beautiful little girl too, when you see the pictures of her / him.
You're going to hear why we think it's a him too here in a minute.
The girl's beautiful. Absolutely blonde hair, big blue eyes. I mean, she just...
What's up, James?
So innocent looking. But anyway, so she gets into the basement. Now, she's in the basement. It takes from upstairs to the basement
A minute at least.
Let's say, she's a kid. She's running. A minute.
No.
Maybe 2.
The way the stairs are in this house, it would take at least a minute to go from upstairs to downstairs because the stairs are like really thin
steep.
And really tight together.
Narrow.
Like real narrow. So in order to go down these steps, you have to take your time. You can't just run down them. So you lose a minute right there. So this girl had to disappear in under 4 minutes.
Yes.
So a person that would come and take this little girl would have to know the little girl's coming down the steps, which you wouldn't, because how would you know that? Would have to be in the house already.
Yep.
And grab the little girl and run out of the house.
Out of the basement.
Out of the bottom of the basement with the mother and the grandma outside.
Yes. And why weren't the dogs barking?
And that's what I'm getting to next. The dogs. Apparently there was at least 10 dogs, like that, stray dogs, but they've been feeding them around their property. So they would know the kids, they would see the kids, and if somebody would have took one of the kids, these dogs would have barked.
Especially a stranger.
Yeah, somebody they didn't know. These dogs would have barked. There was 10 of them. And not one single dog barked, because Candace said, which is the mother, none of the dogs barked.
The grandma even admitted none of the dogs barked.
So,
because the grandma, you have to look at the layout of the house, but the grandma had a trailer in the backyard.
Well, it's kind of to the side of the house.
Well, it was still in the backyard. Yeah. And if grandma was out there and mom was out there, how the heck did somebody abduct this little girl out of the basement doors and they didn't see it and the dogs didn't hear it?
Yep.
I mean,
it didn't show that you were live on my phone, so I came here and said, hey, aren't you supposed to be live?
Yes. Uh, so another thing that happened is when the officer showed up that night, uh, Don Wells called, and the officers, once he got to the house, because supposedly he was at work. So I've heard he's at work. Mom heard he's not at work. So it just depends on how you want to look at the story, because this story takes a lot of twists.
What it is what I heard. So
This is the father, Don
this is just hearsay, guys. So I'm not swearing to it. Well, what I had learned was he did go to work that day, but he got off around 3:30. So he would have known what was going on himself. Not saying that he didn't go to work, because it was proven that he did go to work, but it was also proven that he was not at work at 3:30. So, I mean, you have to play everything in and let everybody know all the little bits and pieces, because like I said, this little girl missing, there's just no way. I mean, think about being in your own home, and you have an upstairs, and then you have the middle part, and you have the basement. That's how I grew up, in my home, but there's no way.
And it had to happen in 3 to 4 minutes.
We had a dog. Our dog barked at everything, even if us kids were stomping or something, growing up. There was 7 of us. The dog barked. How did somebody know exactly when to be there to get this little girl?
Yeah, the little girl was probably dead before all this stuff happened.
I think she drowned.
So she probably drowned or something bad happened. In between the time that she got out of the water and she got home, something happened.
Yes.
Even though I think the little girl is a boy. You're about to hear why here in a minute. On the 16th, they put out an Amber Alert for her. On the 17th, they done a search party. So we're on June 17th of 2021. A search party, but where they're at, they're like in these mountain ranges. I posted the picture on my community tab if you guys want to see it. But like, to search this area, you have to be a pretty good hiker.
You have to be a mountaineer
person. Because a lot of the places in this area, you can't even hike on. Like, you can't even get to it. So, a theory that's went around is that she got out the back door and ran into the woods and fell and got hurt.
Off a cliff.
That's just a theory.
But, now think about this, folks. Even if she fell off a cliff or something and died, buzzards and everything would be around. Something would be around to let you know that there was a dead body or a carcass of something in the area. There was nothing like that.
Actually, it's been almost a year since Summer went missing, and I have only seen Candace cry one time. This is the most screwed up case I've ever kept up with.
Absolutely, is it not? Is it? I had also heard on a news clip that Candace traded her for drugs.
Oh yeah, you're gonna hear some weird shit. Like, you think it's twisted now? Wait till we get into this next part, guys. So let's keep going with the timeline up until that first month, and then we'll tell you the twists and turns after that. Okay, so the father talked to the media for the first time on the 18th of June, and he's in this video where he's talking to this officer. He says she won't be found alive. Exactly. This is the very first interview that one of her father or mother do. The father says she won't be found alive.
Is that amazing?
This is the very first interview. Like, he already knows
that
she's dead.
She's gone or dead. You can't really say she's dead because she's missing. And there's so many, like Danny said, twists and turns in it.
Yes, DJ, it does.
So why would the father come out in an interview with an officer or a newspaper person or whoever it was and say you're not going to find her alive?
Yeah.
Come on.
On the very first interview. Like, I could see a year from that time saying in an interview, you're probably not going to find her alive because it's been a year.
Right.
We're talking 3 days. 3 days in, he says this. Actually put, you have kids. If you don't know where your kids was, you would be searching and begging people to bring them back. It's crazy because they acted like they didn't give a crap. They didn't really. I don't even think they went out and searched for their kids, did they? No, I don't think they did.
I don't think they went on any.
They didn't.
That I know of, they did not.
I don't
go
think
out
they went
on any searches.
Searches for this little girl. I don't think they went on any.
None.
Like, I don't recall it. Maybe it had happened, but I don't recall them searching for this little girl at all.
They did not. They did no searches, and the excuse was they couldn't handle it. What would they do if they found her body? Which I can understand to a certain extent. But, I'm saying me as a mother, if it was Danny or my son Johnny, by golly, my ass would be out there so fast.
Yeah, you would.
I'd want to know if it was my child.
If my kid
found.
If my kid one of my 2 kids disappeared, every day I'd be out searching.
Oh, absolutely.
Till they found my kids.
Yeah. And my kids are grown, they're in their 40s.
The police officers around here would hate my guts because every fucking day I would be there saying, "Are you searching for my kids?
Yeah,
are you out there?
Have you found
Why am I the only person searching?" But no, they didn't care. Let me read what Ashley said. Crystal put, "I believe she was dead when she came home too. We all think that. Because her mother made a point to take a picture of her asleep in the car." Yes, we've already.
Don't she look dead, Crystal?
She 100% looks dead.
Yes.
But
and they also talk about when they took that picture that there was milk or something in the car that they had shoved around her or something. Come on now. That little girl. And the only reason I could think that you would put cold products by a little girl is to keep her body cold, so she doesn't deteriorate fast in the heat.
Okay, Desiree put, "What the heck? Why would the father say that? He already knew. We're talking. We're talking 3 days. It happened on the 15th. He said that on the 18th.
Yes.
So 3 days, and he didn't even search for her at all.
Nobody in the family searched for this little girl.
Now, I know they won't let anybody search for her now. Like, in these woods, you're not even allowed to go up there and search now.
Yep.
So that's bullshit. So they know,
they know something.
You're going to hear some interesting stuff because the police department is in cahoots with the church, which we'll get into the church in a minute.
Oh my gosh.
So on the 26th, there was supposedly a vehicle on the 15th, but it came out on the 26th. There was a vehicle that was found down there that had
excuse me,
ladder racks on the side of it, and I can't remember what color. I think it was red.
An off-color
maroon or something.
Yeah, something
I thought I wrote it down. Maybe I did. Oh, yeah. Maroon or red Toyota Tacoma with ladder racks was supposedly down there. That's what Candace said. She seen that down there that day. There's never been proof that there was ever a vehicle down there. Nobody's ever come and said they seen the vehicle. There's never been anybody that's come in and said that they were the person driving down there. And on the road that these people live on, they're the only people on the road. Like, you come up this road, and then it turns off to their property, and then if you keep going a little further, it dead ends.
Yeah.
So.
And it even shows where the road goes behind the house and stuff, and then down into the woods to a campsite, which is involved in this too. So, but yeah, there's like a camping place in the back. Oh, I'm sorry. Where people come down and they use this guy's property to hunt and fish and stuff. So, yeah, that comes into play.
You can go ahead and tell them that. Go ahead.
What it is this, and I don't remember their names, but you can look at a lot of videos. But This father and son was down there, and they were camping and hunting.
On their property, which connects to Summers' and Mom and Dad's property.
Yes, they were in the back, and it shows the road, like we said, that you can go down, and they were back there. They actually got accused of taking this little girl. And the man said he had been going down there and hunting and fishing with his son for over 15, 20 years.
Like that, yeah, they just bought the property to fish and hunt on.
Yeah. And they got accused of taking this little girl.
Now
Now they haven't been back there since then.
Oh yeah, they have. They own the property. I'm sure they've been
But
there.
back in the area where
yeah,
they were camping and stuff, they haven't been in that area again, I guess, because they got accused of doing something they didn't do.
Desiree put, I think the parents killed her. I don't think the parents killed her. I think she drowned it in the river.
I really think she drowned
and then the
because
mother
the young teenagers said she drowned.
Then the mother and father covered it up.
Yes.
She drowned it in the river, and the mother and father covered it up.
But it was because Candace was in the car with liquor, and she was not watching her daughter. And the young teenage boy said, by the time he got to Summer in the water, and he pulled her up, she had drowned. And he was so upset because he did not get to her fast enough. And then they made that child quit talking.
Yeah, he was 15 at the time, so he's probably 16 now. He's still a minor. DJ, no, there have not been any charges at all whatsoever in this case at all. There should be. The mother and father should be in jail.
They're guilty of
They
at
did
least
something.
covering it up.
Yeah, they did something.
I mean, even if it was an accident and she did drown, which, is plausible, they still knew it. They still covered it up, and they hid the evidence, which would be the little girl's body. They hid it.
All right, so on July 1st, 2021, the police department that was looking for Summers renewed their interest in the missing aunt, Rose Mary Bly, who also disappeared without a trace, never being found. This is Summers' aunt and Candace's sister, and she
19 years ago.
She disappeared without a trace the exact same way that Summers disappeared. So they renewed their interest in Candace's sister, which was, I said her name, Rose Mary Bly.
Yep. Who had disappeared exactly 19 years before Summer. And I know abductions happen, you guys. I know they do. I know people get taken. But I find it kind of odd that the aunt disappeared, and 19 years later, Summer disappeared. What the heck is this? The grandma, that's her daughter. That's Candace's sister. I'd be screaming at the top of my lungs if one of my sisters were missing. I'd want to know where they were. And then they have it happen to their own daughter and their granddaughter too. In the same family? Come on.
So on July 12th, about a month later, Don Wells does another interview and says they're not going to find Summers alive. So this is the second interview, not like the fourth or fifth or sixth or seventh. This is only the second interview with these two parents, and both times he says Summers will be found dead. And that's kind of where the case drops. But so much happened. Like, so many pieces of evidence happened after that. Two boys, 12. One of them was 12 and one of them was 5. Disappeared a mile away from where Summers' house was. And
they all went to the same church, you guys.
Yeah, they all went to the same church and everything. So these two boys disappeared a year prior to Summers disappearing.
Mm-hmm.
So
So they all three pretty much disappeared at the same time. But it was like Summers disappeared from her house, and the two little boys disappeared from their house, all at the same time. In my mind, I'm thinking, this whole time that this has been going on, where the hell were the cops? How could three children in such a small vicinity go missing?
You'll find out here in a minute on
I
that.
mean-
Actually, put Summer has been my picture because you can't see it, but she's got Summers on her picture on her YouTube picture on here since June 16th, and they tried to make all of us that was starting sharing her pictures and information remove it because they said she couldn't be found.
Mm-hmm.
And then Crystal put, maybe Candace is part of her sister's disappearance too. Probably so.
And Grandma's involved too.
No, it's going to get, Billy, if you think it's weird now it's going to get weirder.
Mm-hmm.
From this point forward, when we tell you okay, so from this point forward, guys, it's not a 100%. It's just
things that happen, and people stepping up and talking, and witnesses, and
so this is, you take your own opinion about it and go with it.
We're not saying it's straight the truth because
everything up to this point 100% happened.
Yes.
Everything up to this point.
Mm-hmm.
From this point, we're going to tell you things that happened
that all the witnesses started talking about,
and the weird stuff
what they knew
with the church, the weird stuff with those two kids that disappeared, and some weird. It's gonna get weird. So
there's a lot of photos out there, guys. Sorry, Danny, I'm probably jumping ahead.
Go ahead.
But look at them photos. Look at them.
So the two boys that disappeared, a lot of people, and I mean a lot of people, and you can go look at the pictures. Mom was about to say it. Go look at Summers' pictures, like when Summers was younger, like 3, 4 years old. Go look at her pictures.
Because she was abducted at the age of 5.
So go look at her pictures when she's 3 and 4, and then look at her pictures when she was 5.
Mm-hmm.
Them are totally two different kids. Totally two different kids. So, in my opinion, this is my opinion, I'm just going with my opinion here, and a lot of people's opinions, the 5-year-old boy that was abducted a year prior played Summer Wells' role.
To keep the parents
from getting in trouble. So, if you go look at the pictures,
I believe that the church abducted the kids and gave them.
Yeah, the church is. Yeah. We're gonna get into the church here in a minute.
There's a video on that.
There is go look at the pictures, guys. You just have to go look into this when we're done talking, and look at Summers when she was 3 and 4, and then look at Summers when she's 5, because
completely different.
That is a boy
playing a girl.
When she's 5 years old.
Mm-hmm.
More than likely, it was the boy that was kidnapped a year prior in the same town.
Yep.
So it's crazy. So the person that may have died in the car that day could have been the boy that disappeared a year prior, not Summers. So Summers may not be dead.
Now, in the back of my mind, I want to hope that none of them are dead, but one of them is.
Yeah, one of them died. One of them
for sure one of them drowned.
Either Summers died at the river, or this little boy that was playing Summers died at the river.
Yeah.
There's pictures they show side by side pictures of Summer Wells when she was 3 and 4, and when she was 5, and them are totally two different kids. Like, go look at the pictures.
And you can tell that there's something about when you look at a girl and when you look at a boy, the skull and everything is his shape different, the chins, the cheeks.
Like, you could tell the difference between a boy and a girl. You could definitely tell the difference between a young boy and a young girl.
Yeah.
And that's a young boy that's living as Summer Wells when she's 5 years old.
Yeah.
This is just my opinion. That's what
my opinion too.
That's what I believe. I believe that the little boy drowned it in the river that day, not Summer Wells.
Oh, and you guys, this is for entertainment purposes only. So don't take it as we're straight up telling you the truth or anything. It's just what we've investigated.
That's why we said opinion. It's our opinion.
Our opinions. And when I look back into everything because Danny and I studied 2 cases. We studied Summers and we studied, Brian and Gabby. I was really into the Brian and Gabby, and Danny was really into the Summer Wells, and we were keeping each other updated.
Yeah, next week, next Monday, we're going to do Brian and Gabby and Bob Saget next Monday.
Oh, Bob Saget just...
Hillbilly put, that family is unstable. While driving by their house to a job I had going on near their house, it was nothing to see cars pulled over, sneaking close enough to get photos. Mm-hmm. Also, you live by where this happened, Hillbilly.
No, you did a job there.
It doesn't say a job. He did a job? I just read what he said. I
thought he said he was on the job.
The family is unstable while driving by the house to a job.
Oh, to a job.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Got it. So
he must live by there. Desiree put, wow, I'm shocked, and this story has many twists in my... we haven't even got into
my goodness,
the twists yet. Like, this story gets worse.
Yeah.
Like, so, there's a shed, like a little shed, that sits at the end of the driveway to the house. And supposedly, not possibly, it could be fake, but there's too many people that come out to make it seem fake. So they would take the little boy or little girl, whoever it was, down to this little shed, leave them there for people to come get them for their
sexual pleasure.
Yeah, for stuff like that. Mm-hmm. The shed was like at the bottom of the driveway, and they'd leave the kids there.
Yeah.
Yeah, Hillbilly said he lived 35 minutes from there.
Oh, so you probably know a lot about this, right? I don't understand. Well, I think the cops know what really happened, but they could get their butt in a sling because they really did nothing because there was 3 missing children.
We're getting ready to get into the church here in just a minute, Ashley. That's where the story takes lots of twists
and turns.
Let's see, where are we at now?
We were talking about the sexual conquest.
Have we
at
missed
the end of
anything
the
leading up to this point that you can think of?
That I could think of. I do remember listening to an interview from the grandma when she did finally start talking about early on in the case. And she had said at first that when Candace came home from supposedly the river...
Billy, you will find out here in a minute that...
there was no Summers in the car.
Yeah, Summers wasn't in the car. Billy, you'll find out in a minute that there is a cult involved in this. You're going to find out here in just a minute. Mm-hmm. But
that's the only thing I can think of because none of their stories coincided with each other. Each and every one of them had their own opinion. I do remember they had an interview with the young sons, and they came down, and the sons were saying the things that went on in the house because DFS had been called numerous times on them. Summers had her hair shaved off because of lice, constantly having lice.
I don't think, hold on, because I don't think Summers' hair was cut off because Summers had lice. I think Summers' hair was cut off because Summers was a boy.
Which could be, but the story
The story is she had lice, and that's why
that
they cut the
had
hair.
lice all the time.
Yeah.
Now, and that the mother was filthy and disgusting and all this.
The house was nasty. Like, they showed a video of somebody walking through the house. It was disgusting. The property's disgusting. The whole thing's disgusting.
Well, it's cleaned up now. If you look at a lot of the photos now, it looks really nice. But I guess
they were from.
I don't know.
I think I wrote it down.
Tennessee.
It was from Tennessee, but I can't remember the town. What town was it, Billy? I think Billy or Hillbilly. What town was it in? One of these, yeah, Hillbilly. What town was it in? Because I can't remember the town, but it's in Tennessee.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say something
About the filth and disgusting and the welfare being called.
Welfare did take the 3 boys
yes.
away from them, and they still to this day haven't got their kids back, which was amazing for them 3 boys, because I think they are living with their aunt now, because they gave the kids to one of the family members, which I believe is Don's sister or Don's cousin, and
I'm not sure on that one either.
They're doing pretty good from what I hear. They're all in school. They don't have to live in that disgusting place they lived in, and
they're fed right. They're not getting liquor.
The Division of Family Services, which might be different where you guys are, because everybody has different things. Rogersville, that's it. Rogersville, Tennessee. I couldn't remember it for some reason, but I knew it was in Tennessee. But DFS has still not gave the boys back.
Right.
Which it's different things in different states, but that's the Division of Family Services. That's what it is here. It might be called CPS, I think, there.
Something like that, yeah. And I just call it the welfare department.
Yeah. And it's good that them kids aren't there.
I'm glad that, and that's terrible for me to be happy that the kids are away, but if they're out of that situation and they can talk about what they know happened, because I think them kids know, and one of the boys has mental issues. Am I right? Was
yeah, because
Ashley
said 2 of the boys together in the older one is in a different home, from what I've heard, and is having a hard time. So the older ones,
because he has the mental problem.
The older one's having a hard time, and the 2 younger ones are doing pretty good. Like, I didn't know that. I'll have to look more into that, because I hadn't kept up with the 3 little boys. I was just keeping up with Summers. Well, I just knew that the DFS had took them out of the house.
Every time that the boys had went to talk, the parents, if you look at them when they're having conversations with interviewers or anybody that's there, the parents give certain looks to these kids and they shut up instantly.
Yes, Billy, child services. Yeah. So let's get into the church. This is where the story takes a sick, twisted, messed up, crazy turn. This church is called the Seventh-day Adventist Church. And
have you ever been to 7-day Adventist, folks?
So
I have as a child.
I've never been to
something else.
But I would almost.
They're cult-like.
I would almost say this is a cult. This church.
They are cult-like.
When I tell you about the people in this church and some stories behind some people in this church, it gets crazy. So the preacher, who had been in jail and has a record, who also has friends that can fly planes out of state without anybody knowing, has done videos with young kids on his lives. And this guy's the preacher of this church. They should have been charged with child neglect for sure, Ashley. I don't know why they haven't got no charges.
I don't understand that either. Because there's a lot of things that have been proven on both of them, and they have got nothing. Now, if I would do something like that, oh my gosh, they'd put me in jail and throw away the key. you know. But some people, for some reason, can get away with anything.
So
And these guys are.
there's a woman that was close with Summers, which was the her church teacher, like a Sunday school teacher.
Sunday school.
Her name was Robin Lane, and this woman was she's some like look into her character, guys, because
Her character says it all.
this woman, and me and Mom said we don't think that Summers was kidnapped. We think she died in the river. But if she didn't die in the river, there's a big chance that this woman is the person that kidnapped Summers. This Robin person. Because Summers was really close to this woman.
Loved her.
Loved her to death. There's multiple pictures of Summers running through the church. There's videos.
To get the teacher.
And hugging on this woman like, don't let me go. Don't let me go.
Yeah.
I don't want to go home.
It's not a normal.
Like, it's not normal. Like, not, it's like a.
It's like a protect
me from my family hug.
Yes. Please don't let me go back with them. You can tell on the child's face. Please don't let me go back. It's just.
The teacher's, she's weird. Like, I can't.
She gave interviews, and the thing that always got to me was, and Danny.
She always laughed about it. She always laughed about it.
She laughed about everything, yeah, but she never looked in your eyes.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't even think about that. I forgot about that.
And Danny and I had talked about it, and I'm like, oh my gosh, when you're talking to somebody or even paying attention, you look at them like I do Danny. It's a normal habit for me. I look in people's eyes. But I was like, there's something about her, son. She don't look in the camera. She wanders off to the left and then to the right and then
I didn't even think about that. Like, I forgot.
And I'm like, come on, she's supposed to be a Christian woman?
Like, this is the woman that's supposed to be Summer's protector while she's at the church. Mm-hmm. So when she gave the interview, the first interview, the guy was looking directly at her. Like, because they're filming it. The guy's looking directly at her. Mm-hmm. And the whole time, this woman's like this while she's talking.
Yeah, everywhere. But
never one time in that whole interview did that woman, Robin, look in that cameraman's eye. Not one single time.
And if you pay attention to her interview, the first one, she starts out really kind, sweet.
You're going to find out here in a minute,
lovable, Crystal. Everybody liked her, blah, blah, blah. And then as the interview goes on and they start asking more questions, she gets hateful, rude, obnoxious, smarts off, stops her sentences, never looks at them, looks around like she's daydreaming about something else or whatever's going on. Everything was more important but Summers.
So, this is just a rumor. This is not a 100%. Go with what you want here. But the preacher has a friend who, like I said, can fly. He's got his own helicopter, his own launch, his own place that he can take off from. Yeah, he's got his own airport and everything.
Yeah, his own
port. This church has been known to traffic kids. There's multiple reports of this, so it's not like it's one person saying it. Like I said, this is just a theory. I don't know if it's for real, but there's multiple people that have come out and said that this church traffics kids. Mm-hmm. And the way they do it is by flying them out of the state or out of the country
without anybody knowing
from this preacher's friend. Mm-hmm. So a lot of people think that Summers and the 12-year-old that disappeared flew out of the state
overseas
like a year prior to Summers dying, which was probably the little boy that died and not actually Summers, because Summers was flown out of the state and trafficked it out of state.
That's what a lot of people believe.
This is what a lot of people think happened.
Like the 12-year-old boy and Summers was flown overseas to be used in
A trafficking.
yeah,
You can figure it out from
sexual
that.
manners.
Yeah.
To be sold into sex slavery
Yeah,
and
we can't
stuff
say
like
stuff
that.
like that, Mom. That's why I keep saying trafficking.
Oh,
Yeah, you gotta watch what you say on YouTube.
okay. I'm sorry. That's just what people are saying. I can't say it's true or not.
It's just a theory.
It's a theory. It's a conspiracy theory, pretty
Now,
much.
now,
But
Crystal put up here a minute ago. She says, "Dang, I wonder if the cops in this town are part of." Yes, three.
go to that church.
Three of the, I think 6 or 7 cops that work in this town. Hillbilly would know for sure because he lives there. But 3 of these cops that work in that town go to that church.
Yes, absolutely.
Hillbilly put the whole Dr. Phil interview was weird too, with the way Candace acted like she knew something but is terrified to say.
Yep.
Well, Candace hid whoever died.
And we can't say if it's the boy or Summer.
Yeah.
But there's so many different things out there. Now, I also heard somebody did an interview with Candace, and Candace had admitted at first that she had got rid of Summers for drugs. Like I said, and Danny said there's a lot of twists and turns, but she wanted drugs really bad, so she traded her daughter for drugs. And then when they came back and asked her about it again, she denied it and said she didn't say it. So, it's like, well, did she get rid of her daughter for drugs, or did she not?
Oh, I forgot about that, actually. That's a good thing to bring up, too. One of the main cops in the case is family members with Don Wells.
Yes.
One of the main cops is family members with Summers the Ed.
Mm-hmm. Now, I'd also heard through interviews and stories and stuff that I had listened to that Don
Wells,
yeah. But Don had abused his sister or sister-in-law. Somebody like that.
I don't know about that, but
and he had went to jail for a while, and then he got out, and he was wanting vengeance. So I'm wondering if maybe that vengeance that he wanted was on Candace's sister, and that's why she disappeared. Because maybe that's the one that Don was after, and she wouldn't give in to him.
Twisted, supposedly, and there's no proof of it, but supposedly Candace and Don took a lie detector test, but there's absolutely no proof of it. Like
I've heard it.
Nobody's come out and said they actually took a lie detector test, but they have come out and said they took a lie detector test.
And that they passed it.
Mm-hmm. But there's been nobody else that's come out and said they took a lie detector test. No cops, nothing.
Yeah.
They're the only ones that say they took one.
So, and you can do that privately.
But there was you'd have a piece of paper proving that you did it, and they didn't show any proof that they did it.
And the person that gave it to you would have no reason to lie about it. They'd say, "Oh yeah, I gave that couple of tests."
But the only people that said they took a lie detector test
up.
is Don and Candace. Nobody else.
Right. So that right there, I don't believe it.
I don't think it happened either. There's been no lie detector test, in my opinion, but they say they did.
Now, they have done, some people do this.
I think the reason the FBI hasn't got involved, Crystal, is because there's a lot of people involved.
Yes.
So they could go as high as the FBI. There's 3 cops in that church. One of those and that cop that's a family member don't go to the church. So that makes 4 cops in that town
that are all connected
somehow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a cover-up.
And
it has been a cover-up.
Cops protect cops.
Absolutely. My uncle was a cop, and my brother's an officer right now. And he did 25 years in the service, and he's been a cop, since he retired out of the service. And not saying that my brother is evil or anything, but they do cover each other.
Hillbilly and Ashley, I think the reason Dr. Phil was easy on them when they were there is because Candace and Don said if he went hard on them, they'd just walk off.
They'd walk off, yeah.
So he had to be a little easier. Otherwise, there would have been no questions asked. Mm-hmm. So that's why he went easy on them, because they said...
Because we all know Dr. Phil ain't
they said,
easy going.
If you come at us, we will walk off the stage.
Yes.
And that's why he went easy on them.
He wanted to try to dig up... Dr. Phil did, and I really don't care for him. I don't dislike him or anything, but...
I like Dr. Phil.
His character and stuff just makes my skin crawl for some reason. But I have watched him. I watched the Burke in him, and, yeah. He just...
Something popped in my head, and now it's gone.
It
must not have been that important.
To me, is creepy, Dr. Phil is. Something about him. Sometimes you can put your finger on someone and...
I'm not saying the preacher 100% has something to do with it, but in order to tell the story, I got to tell the story.
Right.
And there's so many twists in this story. Like, this is we're pretty much done with the story, guys. I mean... they still haven't found the girl.
No, now they have a new one that I just did research on. His name is Jose.
I have not had a chance to look into this, but my mom has, so here's a new thing right now.
There is a new twist to the Summer Wells that came out within the last couple of months. Okay, what it is, Jose Roman. Hopefully I'm getting that right, because... Yeah, his name is Jose Roman.
Hold on. I'm not trying to be mean gaming, but we're not talking about him in this video. So we're talking about Summer Wells. All right, go ahead.
But, yeah, he finally got missing children or something. An organization tracked down Jose. And they found him in January of this year. And he started talking about Summer Wells, what he knew about her, how much he loved the little girl, and that every time he went to her house, she was an amazing...
I forgot about that. We'll get back to that,
girl.
Ashley.
And he was going to do another interview on her. And I guess it's been like... They found him in January, because I still need to do more research on it. But they found him in January, did an interview with him. He talked about how Summers was such an awesome little girl and everything like that. And now the man's dead.
Yeah, I don't know anything about this.
Within the last week.
Like, I have to look into that. I don't know.
He was going to do another interview on Summer Wells, and all of a sudden... he passed away.
So Ashley brought up something which me and you both forgot, which is something that needs to be talked about in this story, because I forgot and Mom forgot. But thanks for bringing it up, Ashley, because I forgot about this part. I think the reward fund expires next month, and I think it goes to the rescue squad.
Yes.
That's the reward fund, if I remember correctly, and it's been a while since I looked into it. When it expires, it goes to that church.
Yes, it goes to the church.
Yeah, if I remember correctly,
it does.
When the reward fund expires, it goes to this church.
And they're saying it goes to the church because the church donated the most. Now, I don't know if that's true or not, but it does go to the church.
Like, I mean, they may have changed it over the last year, because, like I said, I got myself back into the case in the last couple of days so that we could do this video for you guys. But unless they changed it, the reward goes to the church when the time runs up.
And there was another lady, I can't remember her name specifically, but maybe one of you guys will. she had started a reward, a grandma something. Grandma, older woman, probably in her 70s, older like me, not my 70s, but she was in her 70s and she had collected a lot of money for Summers as a reward, and all of a sudden her money disappeared.
Yeah.
So that just goes to show that some people collect money and they keep it themselves. But I did also do research, like Danny said, and I've seen a lot of papers that the money and rewards that had been collected will go to that church.
Yeah, when the time expires, they'll go to the church. That's what I heard. They could have changed. Twisted, I get what you're saying. I don't think that's what happened, but it's a possibility. So let's read what Twisted said, because it is the big possibility. It says, I live in Sevier County, Tennessee. We have black bears and mountain lions in these mountains. I believe she may have been taken by a bear or mountain lion. Many people have disappeared in the mountains, which is a possibility. Like, it's a huge possibility, but all this happened in 4 minutes. 4 minutes.
And
it had to be somebody that was in the house. So if it was a bear, the bear or the lion had to be in the house.
And also, even if it was a bear or a lion, because Grandma and Mommy was in the backyard, they'd have heard that little girl screaming.
Or a bear and a lion would have scared the shit out of them 10 dogs.
Oh, yeah.
And they would have been really going off.
The dogs didn't bark at all.
Yeah, the dogs didn't bark at all. So if it was a bear or lion, which is a possibility.
It is. She could have walked off down the road.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
So it's a possibility.
I think she drowned it in the water.
I absolutely.
Or the boy. One of the two of them drowned it in the water.
Yes. Yes.
But it is a possibility that could have been what happened. 100% could have happened.
Now, why the officers, and I know Danny has said, and I keep bumping him with my nails, and I have long nails, but the officers giving up on it, come on now. This was 3 children missing all at the same time in the same area with a mile apart from each other.
Within a year.
Lets that go.
And both parents of both sets of kids go to that church.
Yes.
So that means the parents of the missing boy, if Summers was the boy, that means the other parent was okay with their kid playing the role of Summers with the other family.
Yes.
If that's really what happened.
Yes. And how could anybody in that area, I'm talking the whole area, not at least be a couple of people say, hey, look, we have 3 missing children. Get on the ball. Find out what happened to them kids. I mean, within a mile apart.
I don't know anything about this, Desiree. Mom's the only one that knows a little bit about the new person in it, but I'll read it to her, and maybe she'll be able to answer your question.
Jose Roman.
Yeah, that's not what she asked.
Oh.
She put, I think this is weird that the man was going to do an interview and then ended up dead. Do you all think he was killed to be silenced? Yes.
I do.
100%.
Absolutely agree with you, Desiree. Absolutely.
No, she was asking if you think that's the reason he was
killed.
Yes,
I do. Yes, I do.
I don't know anything about him. I haven't looked into that part of the story yet. It just happened recently.
Yeah, this just happened within the last week that this man passed away. Jose passed away. They're not saying if it was an overdose, a car accident, natural causes. None of that has came out yet. But in my opinion, as sneaky as this case is, I believe something shut him up.
See, I didn't know about this, but Ashley just said this. Something I don't know, and I don't even think my mom knows. But Ashley, you can tell Ashley's been keeping up with it because she has Summers. If you guys want to know what Summers looks like, it's the picture that Ashley has up on her thing. That's Summers.
Beautiful girl.
Ashley put, yeah, the guy who was taking money for the billboards took a lot of money off people and didn't set up the billboards.
You're right.
So I don't remember that part of the story.
You're absolutely right. That's true. He took thousands of dollars from people and was supposed to put up these big, humongous billboards out on the highways and stuff of Summer Wells and a phone number and everything, and then he didn't do jack.
Like, there's so much that
he did nothing.
Like, you could start on this story and at the same time, like me and my mom started this story at the same time. Just you're going straight. You're going straight, and then this story just.
Yeah.
You both go in a totally different direction. That's how crazy the story is.
And then I would say to Danny, well, I was watching Summer Wells stuff tonight, and this is what happened. Dan'd say, "Oh no, Mom, I watched the update. There wasn't nothing like that." And then he'd tell me what he watched, and I'm like, well, I never seen that, you know. So we had to switch links.
Yeah, it was this story.
So we could keep up with it because it just, it just went off on curves constantly. And it, to this day, it still is. Because now the dad's in prison.
Yeah, the dad is in prison for DWI. I think it's 4th or 5th DWI.
Now, if that was me, they'd have put me away at 1. But he got 4 or 5 before they even gave him any prison time. So that just shows that he had people in the police station. And I heard that Candace did a lot of drugs.
That's cool. I didn't know that, Ashley, but
she
that's
slept
awesome.
with the teenage boy.
That's awesome. There's a possibility she slept with the teenage boy.
Well, she admitted it, and so did he.
But it's still hearsay.
It is hearsay.
You can't say she did because she might not have.
She admitted it.
But she did say she did with this 15-year-old boy. That should be, I think he'd be 16 now.
Mm-hmm.
Ashley said this, and this is cool. I'm glad that this happened. Ashley said, we all got together and made calls and had all the dogs and cats removed the first of the month, so I hope they find better homes. They were starving and sick. So all the dogs and cats have now been removed from the property, which is awesome.
That's sad. But I had heard that they weren't feeding the kids that good. That's why the welfare always got involved. Now, you see a picture of Summer that Jose, this gentleman that just passed away, bless his family. I mean, condolences to Jose's family. I'm so sorry, but he had pictures that he had taken of Summer on the swing outside, and that's where she spent most of her time. And I found it really odd. Now, you guys can say I'm wrong, but I found it really odd that here's this little 5-year-old girl out on a swing in just her underwear.
Yeah, there's a video, and it's a weird-ass video.
And when you look at Jose's video, it looks like a boy.
It's a boy. It
absolutely looks like a boy.
The 5-year-old Summers is not a girl.
And Jose's pictures, when I looked at supposed to be Summers, the child looks malnutritioned.
You're Ashley's right. Well, Ashley said is truly how this Summer story goes. She put, you can do research for months and still not keep up with everything.
Exactly.
That's how twisted this story is. Mm-hmm. It's
intriguing.
I'm sure I forgot more than I've told you. And I've told you guys, me and my mom told you a lot about this story, mm-hmm. and we probably have forgot more than we just told you.
Yes. Because there is so many twists and turns in it. It would probably take you a year, and by the time you got done with that
there'd be new stuff.
There'd be another year worth of new stuff. Because that's how much it twists and turns. Because come to find out, instead of it being just the father, the mother, the grandma, and the church, there's like 1 million other people involved in this case.
Yeah, the mother had a friend. The grandmother had a friend that she went and stayed with for a while, and she was telling her friend on Facebook through messages that Summers wasn't in the car when
Mm-hmm.
Candace said Summers was in the car.
When they came home.
When they came home that day.
Yeah.
She says Summers wasn't even in the car.
Yeah.
She wrote this in a message on Facebook to one of her friends when she left the property for like a month, I think.
She also told the FBI that.
Yeah.
The grandma did. Said that Summers was not in the car when Kansas pulled into the driveway. She told the FBI that. And then denied it. And then went back home to Candace's house. And stayed in her trailer, and I guess that's where she is to this day.
Ashley put, I have always said they had this set up for a while because it's like they're reading from a book with the way they talk.
Yeah, they do come off as what is it, zombie-like.
Yeah, they're druggies. Like for sure, Candace and Don do drugs, and you could tell when they're talking, like that they're doing drugs.
It's like they lose track of everything. I lose track of some things because I'll stop sometimes, and think about, well, did that really happen, And I've never been one to do drugs, drink, anything like that, ever, but they act like zombies when they're in front of a camera. Like they're just totally out of it.
Yeah, like they're not even really there.
Like they're not there.
There's a phone call. I don't remember who did it, but somebody's calling Don, and you see Candace in the background, like passed out. And this guy takes this video with this other guy while he is on the toilet.
Mm-hmm.
And then he walks through the house, and Candace is passed out, like she's passed out. Like not she's sleeping, like she's leaning over something, passed out. Yeah.
Yeah.
It just a crazy. I don't remember who he was talking to in the video, but it's out there. You guys just look up Summer Wells, and you're going to be amazed because what I told you, you might take this story a whole different route.
Yeah, you may come to different conclusions than what I have, and there's times Danny and I have butted heads because I say, oh no, this is what happened. He'd say, Mom, you're wrong, blah 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 blah, and we butted heads on it. We finally came to the agreement that it was okay for both of us to agree to disagree because everybody comprehends something.
Yeah, but this story, it goes multiple branches. Like there's not one. There's 500.
And by the time it's done, I mean, what really got to me is I was so shocked the other day when I got online and I was looking up Summers and everything, and I seen Jose, and I'm like, what is this? This is something new. I need to listen to this interview that Jose had and check out the pictures that he had on his phone, and I was like, oh, he's going to give another interview real soon. And then like 2 days later, I came in and I said, Danny, he's dead.
Yeah, Desiree put, I agree with your mom. I think it was a boy because any parent isn't going to let their daughter swing outside in their underwear.
Yeah, a daughter.
Like my daughter, there's no way I'd let her go out of this house in her underwear. I won't even let her come in the front room with me in the front room in her underwear.
None of us do.
If my son wants to run around the house in his underwear, it's different. But my daughter, no frickin' way. Not gonna happen.
Right.
Not gonna happen.
Now, when Danny and Johnny, my other son, were little, they ran around in their little boxers and stuff, but they pretty much look like shorts.
Yeah, boxers look like shorts.
But to little girl, no
way.
No way. Not at 5 years old outside where the public can come by and think of kidnapping her.
We'll get back to that in just a second, Twister.
And when you look at Jose's pictures, of supposed to be Summers. The hair's all shaved off. I mean, it's a little boy. I'm sorry.
It's a little boy.
It's a boy.
There's nothing.
And you look at the underwear.
It's hard to imagine that
it's a boy.
The parents would let a little boy play a little girl, and that everybody involved would be okay with it. But go look into the story, and then you'll figure out. Like, go look at her pictures. Just go look at her pictures, and then comment on this post tomorrow, because I'll leave this video up because maybe it'll help somebody solve this case. Comment tomorrow what if you think the 5-year-old Summer Wells was a boy or a girl, not the 3 or 4-year-old Summer Wells. The 5-year-old Summer Wells was a boy or a girl.
You know, there's a difference in bone age between males and females. I mean, even though we all have the same structural skeletons, when we move and stuff, our bones, for some reason, look differently. And when you sit down and stuff like that, I mean, you can tell a male from a female because of the way they sit. Or because, sorry guys, men slump all the time like this.
Yep.
You know, they'll sit down and they'll be like this and they'll kick their feet back. Women try to have a straighter posture and they're up and everything. When you see this child on this swing and you look at the posture, gives away it's a boy.
Okay, so
gives it away.
Twist it. We already talked about this, but we'll go back to it because you might have missed that part. He put, I thought they had a video of Summer sleeping on the ride home. Yes, there is a picture, not a video, but there's a picture. There's a picture of Summers Wells supposedly sleeping in the back of the vehicle that they had. And me and my mom, this is just our opinion, think that she was dead already in that picture.
Yes, because
not sleeping.
She's when you sleep, you don't turn pure white. You don't look like the blood and everything is just drained out of your face, and she's laying there like. I mean, to me.
Actually,
I think she's dead.
There are 3, and this is proven. There are 3 wells, like big wells, on this property, like big septic wells.
Yes.
So it is a possibility that they could have put the body in the wells.
Now, a lady had said yesterday, because I can't remember her name either, but nobody said I had to remember names, but you can research everything yourself, you guys. She believes that everybody went off into this direction. Like, say we went east. That's just a scenario. We were going east, and we're doing all this research over here to the east, and she thinks everything happened on the west, and Summers is over here buried in somebody's yard. And now that's a new one that just came out yesterday.
Ashley put, you can watch it all 100 times and come up with something different. There's so many different stories out there over this case. And then Twisted put, has the Tennessee Bureau of Investigation said anything about this case lately? There would be no. They dropped this case completely. Like, nobody's talking about it.
Nobody's talking because I think they all know what happened.
There's 4 cops.
And they're covering it up.
3 cops involved in the church and 1 cop that is Don's family member.
Yes. So you have 4 cops already in a small community where 3 children went missing and nobody gave a 2 hoots. Where's them babies?
I remember this. That's a messed up video, so Mom will remember this too when I read it. I said, did you see the video of Summers dancing in the rain with the barrel that said for sale on it? That video stood out for me for some reason.
Yep. Because it was almost, to me, this is my opinion, when she was out in the rain dancing around the barrel and stuff, it was like a setup for a photo. to put on to sell that little girl.
There was a
That's
lot.
my opinion.
I agree. That's why it was made. If you guys missed it, because some of you guys might not have been here at the beginning, there's a theory, not a, just a theory. Nobody knows for sure, but there's a little bitty shed that's at the bottom of the driveway, and there's a theory, and it's just a theory. Nobody knows that they would take the kid down there and put them in the shed.
Even the boys.
Well, they didn't have the boys. They just had their boys.
Their
okay.
boys.
Take the kids down there and put them in this shed. People would come pay them, take the kids out of the shed, and then when they were done with them,
They'd
bring them back and put
to
them in the shed. That's a theory. It's not. We're not 100% about that. But there's been multiple people that's come up with this story.
And I believe the Dancing in the Rain video
Was to try to sell that.
Was to sell that child.
Yeah.
To sell her to pedophiles.
Yeah.
That's what I believe. You guys are welcome to believe what you want and interpret it some way else, but that's how I interpret it as a selling point.
Dreamer put, I'm just going to call you Dreamer, her arms changed considerably from when she was 4 to when she was 5.
Does she not look malnutritioned?
Yeah, she wasn't eating right. None of them kids were.
I mean, because she went to looking super, super healthy.
Thanks, Kane. Yes, it's been a pretty good day.
And then to like skeletal.
Yes.
And looking like a boy.
That was a boy. Like, the 5-year-old Summers is a boy.
And I'm skinny. Now, I really am. I'm skinny. And my bones protrude out, but come on, this is a little girl. So,
you can come in here if you want, Bree.
Supposed to be a little girl. And I'm sorry, the last pictures of Summer, I think, is a boy. Just by looking at them and looking at the skeletal way the body is, because I pay attention to all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
I think it's a boy.
I posted some pictures of the terrain around where this property is on my community tab. Once you guys get done with watching us, go to check out my community tab, because Twisted lives kind of in that area in Tennessee, and he put, there are all kinds of very deep wells and I'm not for sure what that word is. CISTER. Cisterns in the Appalachian Mountains. Anything dropped in is gone forever.
You're right.
Like there's a cave
here
in Missouri that has a river that runs underneath it, and it's believed that at least 100 bodies have been dropped into this river, because once you go under, you're never coming back out of there. You're never coming back out of there.
You're underneath that cave forever.
You're there forever. And they, I believe, because they dived into it a couple times, that there's at least over 100 bodies up underneath that river that goes up underneath this cave.
And the current is so strong, they can't get it out without ripping up.
Yeah, they can't bring anything up. They just go down with strings and ropes, because otherwise you're not coming back.
Yeah.
Like they're on chains and ropes when they go under this river that they did. And you could see the bodies in the video, hundreds of them in this cave. So people go kill people and just drop them in this cave. And that's possibility of something that could have happened on this case also, because there's wells and cisterns apparently all over the place here. They
just found a body not too long ago here in Missouri. It's like probably about 90 miles from where Danny and I are, and they found a body in a well. They haven't ID'd the person yet because it had been in the well so long and it was out in the woods. So yeah, people could be in a well, a cistern, septic.
What's up, gaming?
You could open up a septic. And most people, unless you're a pervert, and think that way to murder somebody, you can open up somebody's septic tank, put a body down in there, put the lid back on, cover it back up, and never know about it. Ever.
Yeah.
I mean, these are big concrete septic systems. How many people are in them that we know nothing about? Because people don't go that way. Their brains don't think like that. And you can't go around and search every septic system there is in the world.
It'd be scary to see what's in them, though.
Yeah.
Because I imagine there's bodies in quite a few septics in the world.
Oh, yeah.
That will people never. You can come in. That people will never come in. That people will never know that there's somebody in it, in their septic.
Absolutely. It's just
crazy.
You want some cookies?
Yeah, maybe in a minute.
no. I don't want any, but thank you.
Dream put the precision, the proportions are just different, wrist to elbow to shoulder, from Summer Wells to the 5-year-old boy.
Are you looking at the pictures? They're amazing, aren't they? Because they're not. They're not the same person.
You want to climb in here behind us so that people can see you?
They're just not.
Okay. Brianna's in here. Bend down and say hi.
I'm gonna go take a
Bathroom break. Okay, Mom will be back
So
in a
Brianna will talk to you guys for a few minutes.
Mom will be back in a few minutes.
I'm gonna take a smoke break.
She'll be back.
Maybe.
We can call it done. There's pretty much not much more to say.
I have cookies,
Yeah,
guys.
my phone is really
Are you
hurting
done?
today. Huh?
Are you done? We can be done. There's not really a whole lot more to go.
Well, just go ahead.
Are you done?
Yeah, go ahead.
Let them know you're leaving then.
Oh.
Then
I might be back, guys, but just if you have a question or something to ask me,
leave it in the
or
comment.
my opinion, leave it in the comments.
Leave it in the-
Danny will let me know.
Don't leave it in the comments to the chat. When the video goes up, leave it in the comments, and then I'll let her know.
So I'll smoke and be back.
I think did Cola come in here?
I don't know.
I swear. Will you go turn my air on? It's hot as hell in here. My mom might be back in a minute, guys, but she might not be.
I had to leave my phone in my bedroom because it's like dead.
There's a whole bunch of caves like that have rivers or creeks or stuff that run underneath them, and people just drop people in there and they disappear. You're never going to be found. We're not talking about Johnny, so wrong video, guys. This video is going to be for Summers, so people can come back and see the story and maybe help find this little girl that disappeared. Crystal said, please share cookies with the rest of the classroom. Take one out and
Oh, okay. Yeah.
There you go. Here's a cookie, guys.
Here you go, guys. Here's a cookie. The only reason I'm eating these cookies is because I didn't know if I'd like them or not, so I didn't want to try them or anything. And then I had a dream where I ate them and liked them, so I decided to try them, and ended up liking them.
I agree. Twisted. He says he put every adult on that property that day Summers disappeared should be made to take a lie detector test or waterboard it until they tell what's happened. Well, maybe not waterboard it. That's kind of a little mean. But yes, a lie detector test with video so we can see that they're actually taking the lie detector test for sure.
You're welcome, Crystal. When I'm further away from my phone, the headphones work even less.
A little girl named Charlie went missing in 2016 from Rogersville and was found by the lead cop in a cabin on his property. That sounds a little fishy.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. You went and looked up the pictures, Desiree? For sure, it's a boy. There's a lot of people that don't think that, but it's just, I think it is. I think it's a boy. Brianna's seen a little bit of pictures back when me and Mom were following this story.
I don't remember them.
She probably don't remember, so she can't talk about it.
Yeah. I might have to go switch.
Well, I'm sure the
phones.
river ends up going out somewhere, but once you're in a cave and you go up under, like, there's going to be little holes, big holes, rocks coming down, everything. It's going to be like a body's going to have to go in and out of all that stuff. So the chances of it ever coming out at wherever the river comes out is pretty slim. There's the boss lady. Now everybody straighten up is what Hillbilly said when you came in. And Crystal put yummy thanks. Summers will be missing 1 year on June 15th. 1 year on June 15th. Yeah, 1 year on June 15th.
I have to go get my other phone because it's not dead, and this one's like mostly dead. I will be back though.
If a little torture finds her, yeah, I agree, but maybe that's maybe not the best idea. Maybe. Yeah, she's missing from Tennessee. I told the whole story to the story Kane, so you might have to go read back. Me and my mom told the whole story to this whole thing, twist turns, everything that I can remember about the story, and Ashley brought up some things that we forgot. There's so much to this story that you're gonna have to go. It's gonna be on my. You guys can go back and watch it, because if somebody comes on here and maybe can solve this case by what we've talked about, by all means, I want it to stay on here. If we can get one person to figure this out, that's all it takes. One person. What's up, Donna? But I believe that the Amber Alert is not active, but I could be wrong. It still might be active. Yeah.
I'm back now.
Yeah, I don't know why he stopped talking about it. He should have kept talking about it. Like, I was talking about it before Upchurch started talking about it, because I started following the Summer Wells thing when my mom started following Brian Laundrie and Gabby Bettino. So we were kind of following both stories at the same time. But Upchurch did do a video on Summer Wells. I think it's still up on his page if you guys want to go check it out.
Thank you for the 7 likes.
I agree. He should talk about it and not worry about it. Actually, I hope we find answers too, but something tells me that probably we'll never figure out what happened, which is sad. We'll be doing another one next Monday, Crystal. We're going to do it on Gabby Bertino and Brian Laundrie, and we're also going to do it on Bob Saget. So it'll be, both of those will be in next Mondays around the same time. But I'm going to let you guys go, because I think this pretty much covers the whole story. And I don't want this story to start going into some other story, because I want people to be able to come back and reference this if they need to. So I'm going to let you guys go. And I'll probably come back live and we can talk about whatever. If you guys want me to come back live, press 1 in the chat, and then I'll come back live with a different video, because I want this video just to be about Summer Wells. Press 1 if you want me to come back live on a different chat.
Yeah, press 1, please. Let me just join your live real fast so I can press one
Well,
too.
everybody pressed one, so. All right, guys, I'm going to end this chat, and then I'll come back live with a different video because I want this one just to be about Summer Wells. So we'll see you guys in just a few minutes. Bye.
What the heck, Phil? I was just connected to the internet. Why'd you